And I guess we're live. Good evening, everyone. Let me grab the link for the stream and put it in here. Then we can get started on the shop system of Voxel RPG. Where is the stream? Here it is. Shareable link. And that is that. Let me grab the chat. Yeah, here we go. And let's get started. Hello everyone. Today we'll be working on the shop system for Voxel RPG. And it's we need to be able to sell stuff, we need to be able to buy stuff, so we need to make a way that the weapon generation can be linked to like a level. Right now it's just really completely random, and I kind of just want to implement a system where it, it picks some stuff at random, still of course, but that we do somehow have like a regenerate stuff roughly around our own level, or maybe the level of the trader. So for that we first need to start looking into the weapon system again. And once some more people join, I'll also show what I've been working on these past 2 days. Here we go. Hey Beam, how are you doing tonight? What's up, what's up? Let me get the pop-out chat like this, then I can actually see what you guys are saying. Put it on the other screen. So let me quickly show you what I've been working on these past few days. So the first main thing I've been working on was reworking the weapon system. Before we had some hard-coded weapons that would spawn, but now we have full-on templates, which are defined as good old resources. And for example, for the mace, yeah, I know we have to go soon. It's also not going to be a very long stream, like 1.5 hours is really the maximum. Then I'm also gonna go to sleep today, but I just promised some people I would stream a bit more, so then why quickly not do so? So the weapon template, here I can define the name, the type of the weapon. Not all of these types have been implemented yet, so the art, in this case the mace, the level it will be generating, and then the base stats of the weapon and the requirements for weapon as well. So yeah, so far that's quite nicely, and it will simply pick a level at random and then interpolate these values. So you will not get a level 1 weapon with like the highest stats here. And then it won't scale with your level any further. The scaling is not part of that. Yeah, let's show the credit screen. So here we have the credit screen with the translations done by Beam. Very nice, Icarus. Very happy with it. Probably I will have a whole new list of stuff that needs to be translated in a couple of weeks, because I'm adding a lot more text to the game as we speak. But it's I'll send you the list by then. But take your time. School stuff is more important. Let's turn on the volume of the game as well. So one of the things I'm working on, it's better to show this just in game. So here we are. One of the improvements now is you can determine where you want the minimap to be, So in the options in game, we now also have a minimap location, so I can move it to any one of the corners. So very happy with that as well. And then now, if we look at all the weapons, we can see that this is a level A strunk. Ah, great beam. Yeah, I'll send you the list when I have it. It's still all just English text, purely in Godot, that I'll still need to filter out, but one thing at a time. So we see here the trunk I've equipped. The name is red, which means it's a mythic, and that gives it a massive boost. It's also level 10, so it's like the best weapon one can generate. Currently, there's no stat requirements implemented for this one, or it's just not selected right. If we go to the trunk, I don't have this yet, but this should probably be 12. Pretty high strength requirements should be needed. And here for the bow, you see it needs a lot of different stats. So for the bow, you probably need to spec out a bit, at least for this bow. The wooded swords we can use. So yeah, the input, it's not perfect yet. It still needs to be made to look a lot better and make it more easy to compare between weapon damage and stuff, but it's functional again. And as you can hear, it will play a sound if you cannot equip something, or it will play this sound when you are switching weapons. Let's turn the volume down quite a bit. But yeah, so far so good. And you see over there, I do quite like the minimap, how you can zoom out. It's functioning quite well. But it can also be performance intensive, so you can also just turn it off. And then it won't, waste that performance. Because you don't really need the minimap, I guess. But it's nice to have. Let's see, this weapon is very strong. But enemy generation also hasn't gotten all the love that it needs. So we're still just generating only level 1 enemies with very hard-coded stats. So yeah, there needs to be some progression implemented there as well. But one thing at a time, right? You open inventory with I. Oh, cool thing, Beam. You can now actually, in the options menu, go to controls, and you can see all the keybinds. And if you use controller, then you will see all the controller keybinds as well. So it's so it works pretty nicely. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff to work on. Yeah, but to be honest, the rebind menu should have been in the game from like the launch of the playtest. It's one of those features that you really just need as an accessibility thing, right? So it should have been in there for a long time already, but yeah. It was quite a bit of work to implement, honestly. It took me a couple days. There isn't really a nice built-in solution for Godot that really handles this nicely. So making this function for both controller and mouse and keyboard was difficult, but we got it to work. And my guess is that that's okay for the full release already. Here we still have some bugs with the water level, it seems. Or I guess with the ground level not being high enough, that's the bigger issue. I guess just interpolating, and it's going wrong there. Yeah, because it's such a shame that we have the interpolation at the bound here. Like, oh, if we just didn't have this, it would be better. So much better. But oh well, nothing to be done on that right now. Let's make our way to a village and start implementing the shop system, which is let's go to spawn. Then I know exactly where spawn is. Here and probably this way. Yep, it's here. Yes, here is spawn, and then it's somewhere around here. Yeah, here it is. So we have the nice inn where you can already interact with a bunch of these things. And I want you to also be able to interact with the shopkeeper. Not really any plans for caves, at least not in this biome. I am thinking of having like the village that we will have in the mountain biome. I would like if it would be embedded into the mountain with maybe some rooms and stuff, but that's really it for caves. Yeah. It's also quite a hassle in the terrain generation to get caves to work, especially with the setup that I have. It's probably going to need to, for caves you need to basically redo the whole system. Because the stuff you see like here, with all the 3D noise going on, these are actually pre-generated. All of these are pre-generated. I've pre-generated like a couple thousand, and it's just picking them randomly. Because generating them in runtime means sampling a lot of 3D noise, and I found that was just performance-wise, like it could be done, but it was quite expensive. So I was like, I've made this really cool structure system. Like every tree is also a structure, right? So I can easily edit them, and that works pretty nicely. And it's quite well optimized. So then my thought was, why not just make these pre-generated terrain things as well? And that functions nicely. It generates pretty cool. Yeah, no real complaints there. And I don't want to redo the whole terrain generation system anytime soon. I will want to redo the forest biome a bit. Yeah, after stamina, then you fall. That's here I can show. Then it won't do anything, and it will take a few seconds before your stamina starts recharging again. So here is the shops, and we can leave. Yeah. Let's see. What do we need? What do we need? Oh, definitely not that. So, world. How should the HUD for shops be? Probably it should just load in and be hidden, like the NPC interaction screen. My guess is that makes the most sense. So I'm thinking, how should we have the UI for that? We probably want something similar to the inventory, and just something that's living as a separate canvas layer. Yeah, I think that will do the trick. So it seems in UI we'll make a new folder and we'll call it NPC interactions, interaction menus. Ah yeah, but it's visual style, right? It's more about how should it technically function. Like visual is really not something I'm worried about now. We're gonna redo the whole UI basically, at least the looks of it at some point. It's pretty bad, but it's functional. And I'm really more focusing on the systems at the moment. Making it pretty and have sound effects and function smoothly. It's really important, but it is like next steps, because also I need to really decide on a UI style. If I want to go super minimalistic like CubeWorld, that's very easy to pull off. So I am kind of leaning towards that more and more, or more stylized like this, like we have for the item inspect, which I also like, but then I do need more guidance on like how I should use it. I have a UI guy who I'm talking to this about, but it's really not been a priority for neither him nor me, so no, for now it's more about the system. Can I just get a menu in there? Yeah, and then make it interesting, right? First make it exist, then make it pretty, and then make it interesting. On like a visual sense. That we have different things for different shopkeepers and stuff. But yeah, as long as like the core combat stuff is not yet done and the core systems aren't finished, that's really not a priority. Like ideally, I do want to launch at the end of this year. That's still really the goal. If we do make that, as always, I do think there is a bit of a player base for this game that will want to see updates. So some of that stuff may even be post-launch. Definitely not the UI looking like this. This is not ready for launch, but yeah. Like, there are very little systems that are fully ready for launch. Like honestly, I just think the controller rebinding, and that's yeah, not enough. All right, let's get to work. So we have the NPC interaction menu folder. Let's get a new control node, and it's called shop. And here we'll make a canvas layer. And it's going to be on the world level. And we call it shop canvas layer. And we put the shop node in here. And let's turn off the HUD so we can easily see it. So in here, I want an options menu. No, not options menu. I want a tab menu. Tab container, I think it's called. Two little triangles on the top and bottom of the pop-up menu. What little triangles? Where did you see the triangles? Like in the engine or in the game? Oh, these. Wait, let me show you. Let me show you how I made this placeholder visual. So my UI guy, right? He made some art, and he made this for the buttons. And I was like, I need something. So this is a button he made for like on the main menu. And then I was thinking, you know, it would be nice as a background. This, but stretched out. So that's why the triangles are here. Yo, what's up, Reggie? Thanks, man. Really appreciate you saying that. And for sure, we'll keep up the good work. It's also just a lot of fun to work on the game, to be honest. It's far from mature. Yeah, it's just a placeholder, but at least it looks nicer than the other boxes I had. I think gives a bit more style. Hey, Sonder. Yeah, I'm now officially a streamer. I'm guessing. It's gotta be known for something, right? I guess streamer would be still better than the guy who's making a Qpod clone. Although I really do like, I do really like this. How many viewers do we have? Oh, like 6. Jesus, we have a lot of people here. Very nice. Okay, for the shop. How did I do that for the inventory? You know what? Control C, Control V. I want the tab container, and all the other shit needs to go. Except for the coins, right? The coins need to stay. But I'm guessing the coins should also just be in like its own separate thing, maybe. I can easily change it. But these need to be gone. Like the stat container needs to be removed, and the equipment container also needs to be removed. Yeah. So we need to add. What type of containers do we have here? Just container, panel container, grid container. I think we need 2 grid containers. So we need a grid container called buy, and a grid container called sell. And then we need to use the logic from the inventory, I guess. And we need the subfuel port as well. But I'm guessing I should really make this its own scene that you can easily interact with and set the value. Am I gonna make this really bad code or just refactor it nicely now? We have time. Let's refactor it. So in the inventory, let's make another scene. I'm pretty sure it's a sprite 2D. It's not a sprite 2D because I also need to contain the actual 3D world. So just a control node, and let's call it money indicator or something like that. Money indicator should be okay because that's what it is. Or no, let's make it a coin indicator because it's called coin everywhere else, I think. Coin indicator. Rename here. Coin indicator. And then we need the whole subview port. We need to just get that out of there and put it in here. And we need the whole sprite. I'm so maybe so does streaming my progress lead to me coding cleaner? I don't think so. Because I generally do try to really adhere to good coding practices. Like I've been doing this for a couple of years already, also professionally. So I wouldn't say that I know what I'm doing all the time, but at least sometimes I have a rough idea of what I'm doing. But if I'm also streaming, I'm also keeping an eye on the chat, talking to you, trying to think out loud. Otherwise, just vibing to music and spitting out code. But yeah, who knows? At least it will give good discussions on the code base, right? What's this container for? This is for the placement. So we need this whole container. And this whole container needs to go here. And then this whole coin indicator can go into the inventory. Yeah, I think this is where it used to be placed. And now it needs a coin graphic and a coin label. And that will need to replace with a coin indicator class. So that needs to go to the scripts folder, UI, inventory, and a C# script, please. No, not .cs.gd. C#. Yeah. Hey, Ulysses. Ah, yeah, I get what you're saying, Sander. To me, that's not really how I do it. The issue is more that I write something that's functional quickly, generally all the time, even if I'm like doing something professionally. I write something quickly, get like a basics working, and then I start adding stuff, making it nice and generic. So I try to write it in a way where I don't overcomplicate things immediately, but I do make it easy to add more complicated stuff. So I had to, at some point I had to make a system that would interact with like an outside vendor, and I was already thinking like, okay, this is going to be, I'm going to need to implement this probably for 20 different vendors. So for the first one I made a pretty nice system that already had some abstraction in it. And then when I added the second one, I had to refactor it even a little bit more. And then the third one, only a few minor changes, and then 4 till 20. Those were really simple. Like, those were really only adding one class with the new vendor information, and it was done. So it's that's kind of the way I go about it. Also because you learn on the go. If you build a system like this, you know more. You know more at the end of building it than at the start. The only exception is if you really start from zero, or if you start over. If I would quit the Godot version of this game and would say I'll do what Wole does and restart in a new engine, that's possible. Don't plan on doing it. But at that point you can really start planning out really concretely all the things you want, because you know exactly all the shit you ran into in the other engine. But yeah, I'm not planning on this game will release on Godot, and that's really not an issue. Godot is quite capable. Let's see. Okay, the coin indicator class, we will need that. And from the inventory we'll need to grab a few things. So we need these two things. We don't need system. Do we need ready? I'm not sure. We will definitely need process, but I think we need physics process. It's really, it's the bottom. Yeah, we just need to paste this. And this. And this can now even be an exported float. instead of a constant. So that's okay, and then the coins label the text in the reload items. So we don't need anything else in the ready. Oh, we do need something in the ready. It's just calling the reload items, of course. So private, or no, this needs to be public. Void update coin visual. It's gonna do this, and the player save. Is there another reason we have player save here? Yeah. Okay. So we get the player save and we set the visual, and we also do this at ready. And then in reload items, inventory will have a export coin indicator, and coin indicator in the reload items will call update coin visual. So now we just need to set it up. The coin graphic is in this one, the coin label is this one. Then in the inventory, coin indicator is this one. Now coins should still be functional for the inventory. But we have the sell menu. In front of it. That is annoying. Let's turn it off quickly. No, but I think it's fine actually. It seems to be working fine. Then the question becomes more, why is this menu and the inventory menu not on like the same level? Oh, this is just, why is this bigger? Yeah, now it's, and this doesn't show. Oh yeah, because it still has all of this. Hey Grinda. I'll try to explain stuff a bit better, I guess. Maybe it will also be more fun for some people once we start actually, you know, putting in visuals and not some basic UI system and random refactoring of code I wrote a week ago. And this whole sprite needs to be removed. This whole container needs to be removed actually. Yeah, and then the coin indicator, we put it in the nightpad tract. Okay. Yeah. So now we have a coin indicator, which doesn't yet do anything, but it's just here. So for inventory, I know coding knowledge does make this more difficult, I guess. I think for you it will be more interesting once I start working on like dungeon generation, because you'll just see me, you know, just building it's basically just playing Minecraft. Like I have a structure editor, and if we use that, then we like here's for example the inn, and we can nicely edit the structure. So, you know, I need to make a lot of different buildings and rooms for dungeons and stuff at some point. For the non-coders that will be more interesting, I'm guessing. But yeah. Um, let's see. We have the coin indicator now nicely separated. And then we need to take a look at our inventory slot. No, voxel data is being replaced under. Which also means that I hope I can show. I guess I can show like a new mage character. So let's quickly make a mage. Let's make it an elf. Oh, let's turn off the shop. Let's make the whole canvas layer invisible. It's actual voxel data. Yeah, because I want to show you that it's destructible. But where's the village? It's a bit more. Yeah. So here you have the structure, and it's just destructible. Yeah, the dungeons will be procedurally generated. Everything in the world is generated, but it will be generated. No, that's exactly what I wanted to say, Sander. I have not yet worked with procedural generation for castles, at least not in 3D. I did a 2D project in high school many years ago, which used a binary space partitioning algorithm to create this dungeon layout. And with BSP you can generate like these kind of dungeons. Like this is basically what we made, but it looked a bit more impressive. And also then we made it 3D based on this. So that I did before. My plan now is quite different. My plan now is to have really rooms A, B, C, have all different kinds of rooms, and then generate a castle, of course in 3D, but it's in 2D, where we make something like this. A, C, B, or some other combination. Yeah, indeed, exactly that's going to be the plan. Make a lot of building blocks in the structure editor, and then use those to generate random castles, random dungeons, and other random buildings. We can combine them nicely, of course. So that's also what I'm planning to do, and that's also why the structure system needed to be so overly complex. It's a system I spent more than a month on to get it optimized to the point it is now. But yeah, this everything that's grass or flowers you can destroy, or leaves. And it's also synced to multiplayer. I don't think the shopkeeper will actually fall. I think he's just a static NPC. Yeah. So maybe he'll need to be on a plateau that's not indestructible, I guess. Yeah, indeed, that will be a lot of fun. It's one of the main things I'm looking forward to. But yeah, there are other things that are just a higher priority. Although it would also be visually really cool, right? Having a bunch of generated dungeons. Marketing-wise, it will be one of the best things I'll do, I'm guessing. And implementing-wise, it will be a lot of fun. I have my a holiday week from work right now, so I'm working on the game a lot this week. And my plan is to really focus on shops and questing, and maybe I'll start implementing armor, and maybe food items, and some next steps in the combat, all stuff like that. It's very core. And then in a couple more weeks I'll have another week, and that's probably the week I'll start working on procedurally generated structures, because it is it will be quite a challenge to make them cool and unique. yeah, it will just take a while. So I really want to pick like a whole week for that, to just make the first dungeon generation set. But for sure it will be an interesting one. You know, it's going to every step that I do here, it's becoming more and more a game and less a tech demo. So I'm quite happy there. Okay, let's continue. So did we already have like the shop codes? Nope. Then C# is correct. This is not correct though. Not in scenes, but in scripts. UI. Let's make a new folder called NPC interaction menus, and we call it shop.cs. Yeah. And probably indeed we will do it like this. The canvas layer will be visible and the actual control won't be visible. So in the world, we will create a shop. Which will be like get protected set. And then we'll set the shop so we can actually reference it easily. Okay, then we need to interact with our friend the shopkeeper entity. I apparently have a custom interaction handler for him. I don't know why. I've not touched this system in weeks. Oh, it's because of server interactions. Oh yeah, so interact does stuff also for everyone. And we only want the... Do we only want the player to interact with That's a good question. Okay, so if you're playing with two people, right? You and a friend, and you both look at the shopkeeper, you will see the same items and weapon in stock. That's because it's just purely generated based on like the level of the area in the end. That will be the same. But if your friend, if you see a really cool sword, and your friend buys the sword from the shopkeeper, should it also be removed from his stock on your side? A better question, should it even be removed? Because it will add a lot of unnecessary stuff where you'll need to actually keep track of all items have been sold, or just generate a list of items that can be used and can be bought indefinitely. I think it's better to just have them indefinitely. That will solve both the multiplayer issue that we would potentially have, and it would be technically the simplest thing to implement at the moment, and gameplay wise it wouldn't really ruin anything. The one thing would be if you have like a legendary one-handed sword that you find, and you can then buy two and dual wield them instead of having to use a lesser weapon, but I don't think that's enough of an issue to not have that, at least not at this stage. Yeah. So indeed, for the shopkeeper we need to do nothing here and do everything in the interact. Yeah. So we need to find like the world. Oh, it's like a player node. Oh, okay. Then it's easy to find the world. So I want to interact. The world is player dot get parent dot get parent and of type world. And then the shop is world.shop and shop.visible is true. Then in the inventory, when are we all saying, like, do we do a lot of stuff with the visibility of the inventory here? So the issue is we'll have overlapping. These things will start to overlap, right? The inventory and the shop view. And I also cannot close the shop. Let's first make it possible to just close the shop when by doing. Yeah, we can just interact with it again. So something like this. Oh, not in the shopkeeper, but in the shop. Then visible is false. Oh yeah, I was working on playing Dark Souls a bit more. I finished Dark Souls 1 recently, got all the achievements, so now I moved on to Dark Souls 3. I also tried to play Dark Souls 2 a bit, but it's the combat feels quite slow in Dark Souls 1. And then I kind of got a bit sick of it after 100 hours, so now I'm moving on to something that's a bit more fast paced again. For me the first one was Elden Ring. And before I always thought Dark Souls really just wasn't my cup of tea. And then I really loved Elden Ring. Still haven't finished it, but really liked it. But yeah, I need to go take a break for a couple minutes. So I'll be back soon. Let's can we put like a nice banner on? I will be back soon. See you in a bit. Heyo, I'm back. Sorry for the long delay. I had to help the wife for a bit. Um, yeah, there are definitely some similarities between Dark Souls and the Cube World gameplay loop. And yeah, I'll put Subway Surfers on screen next time for sure on there. Alright, let's continue. Yeah, my wife is getting her neck surgery tomorrow morning, so we needed to quickly discuss at what time we'll get up and at what moment she isn't allowed to drink anything or eat anything. So it's that obviously comes first. So unheld input, inventory. Then we just want the visible for our thing to be fast, and the mouse input is handled already by the others. And then here we also the mouse input is already handled by the others. Maybe this just works. Let's check it out. So yeah, and then we can open. Yeah, okay, so we can open yeah, and let's just make this switch instead. Maybe that will be better. Yeah, so when we open the shop, we need to make sure the inventory is not visible. So inventory is world.inventory, and if shop.visible inventory not visible is false. And then we only need to get the inventory in this case. And my guess is this will fix our UI issues for the opening. So we can open and close, and if we open, and this works. Yeah. Cool. So now we need to make the actual buy and sell list. Yeah. Let's have a look at the inventory slots. Because probably this needs to be refactored to item slot. Because we also have the weapon or the item preview, I guess, on the in the shops as well. So then we'll need a similar code base. Can I not just duplicate these? Duplicate. And this will be called shop item slots. So let's also make a shop item slots .cs. So public partial class item slots, and then we'll need to implement item slots still, and that we'll do in just UI, I'm guessing. So item slot.cs. And then that will just have all of the inventory slot code basically, and this will become item slots, and then the inventory slot will go from this. So let's see, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need we need this. Probably need the signal. Or sorry, let's go to the item slot. The item slot needs all of this. It needs something to set the item. I made AI rewrite this stupid function. Oh man. Yeah, these are all AI generated functions, these three. Dragging and dropping, is that something I want to be able to do in the shop? Nope, I want to click only, because there's not going to be something to drag on. So item slot, this will be used by the inventory slots. Yeah. And the inventory slot won't need any of these. It won't need the get item. It won't need all of the setting up stuff. Or the clear item. It won't need the get mesh. It will need all the drag and drop stuff. Inaccessible, protected. Let's make everything protected. Inventory slot ID, that's for inventory of course. My guess is this was the easiest refactor ever. And then we need to of course still remove all the drag and drop stuff. All this needs to be removed as well. Yeah. Let's see if the inventory still functions. Yeah, that still works. So we have successfully refactored them. Very, very nice. And let's see. This is still the inventory slot, right? Yes, so I need to get the correct scripts on here as well. Where is it? Shop item shop. And yeah. we need a public, and we for now just need a pressed. The rest we won't need. On click, we'll need something to do in here as well. Not anything like this. And if there's no item, then we don't want to do anything either, yeah. So we need to know public shop. Now bool is buy is true, and this will also set in the constructor. So how do we set the inventory slots again? Yeah, we use an inventory scene for that. Yeah, of course. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so we need a packed scene in shop called and then we just will not set so we'll set public no, this will be called shop item slots scene, and in this we'll set a we'll set nothing further, I guess. We just need to go and create these now. We can copy paste that into the shop. So it's shop item slots and we don't have an inventory slot ID. We don't add anything like a droppable. The button is not disabled. Do we need an ID to slot? Nope, I don't think we need it. We don't need an index. The item cannot be nil here. So this is pretty simple for now. We need to still generate these items. So we'll need an export grid container, buy container, and we'll need a sell container. So we'll need a public void reload items with which we will need some parameters for. We want the free shopkeeper position, so we can use this for a seed. Oh, and I think we can actually generate anything seed wise. I guess we need to set the seed for the RNG. So like public weapon, get random weapon from seed. Not even sure that's an integer, but I guess we just want to set like, I guess we just want to return this, but first set like RNG that is new random number generator, RNG that seed is seed, and then of course this needs to be a ulong. Okay. I'm not entirely sure, because I think this will just keep on outputting the exact same. Let's just first see if this works, then we can fix later. So in inventory, yeah, let's first get rid of old items. So we have the buy container plus sell container that get children. And we'll get rid of these. And then generate buy items and display sell items from inventory, and that is this. So of course we also need the player save again, which we get here. Let's get at the start because it's easiest. And so this is the buy container, and this is a shop item slot, shop item slot, shop item slot. Let's also not call this, let's call this construct shop item slots. Item is equipped. How do I get the item is equipped? That we'll just get from the inventory. So we also need a reference to the inventory, which will call inventory public inventory. Oh no, sorry, let's make it public, yeah, and then no, that's actually fine. Let's just get it from the world in the ready. Do we have a ready yet? Nope. Okay. Public override void ready. And then world will be get parent, which will be not interesting, and then this one will be the world itself. And then inventory will be inventory world.inventory. And now we can reference inventory.item equipped. So this is nice and dry. We don't have an index that we use. My guess is it's just a Godot array. Yeah, Godot collections was missing. And cell container, we will add our item. And we'll generate apparently 10 of these. Where will we do? For now, let's just only generate weapons because I don't know anything else. So, private weapon generator. Weapon generator. Or do we also have an item generator? We do have an item generator. Let's use that. And the weapon generator is a static. Let's also make the item generator a static, or not a static, a singleton. Oh, this is normally called singleton in my code. Cool. Singleton will be new item generator. My guess is that this is fine. I'm a bit worried about causing weird race conditions or deadlocks here. Which we obviously don't. And then we pass in this generated item. And we pass this in there. The item generator will just set this item generator as item generator dot instance. No, I don't think this will cause a deadlock actually. And this is item dot generates get random item. And we get some errors. Oh yeah, in the world. Because item generator, I need to change this to instance. A couple of issues. The most glaring one is that we have not actually set any of the containers. So in the inventory we have this whole thing that we will put into the buy. Then this H box needs to be gone. And the scroll can become bigger. I guess this one. Why is the margin container so small? Is it just hard coded? No. Maybe it was. Themes override, is that doing something? Oh, the margins are fine. Ah, it's the anchor preset, just I want the full rect. Yeah. And this then will be the buy container. Oh wait, do we have like 2 grid containers? I don't know why this grid container is like weird. Very weird. That does not work. Why does it not work? I don't think we actually call the reload items, we never call this. And we need to call it in the shopkeeper entity. Disable inventory. And also then trigger UI updates with items. So let's shop.reload items. We have like a voxel pulse, right? In an entity. Yeah, it does. So that's one issue. Okay. Ah, this also needs to be set, of course. And this is in scenes, UI, MP direction menu, shop item slots. Yeah, so we have my own inventory here as well, which should be exactly the same. It is exactly the same. And then in the buy menu we also have some randomly generated items, which are, I guess, regenerated every time. Yeah. So they still need to become unique, you need to buy them, get some stuff. Also the mouse input's not working correctly. We can very quickly fix that, I believe. So where's the mouse input stuff? On the shop. In unhandled inputs. No, actually I think this is in the shopkeeper entity instead. If the shop is visible, make mouse available. Maybe this will do the trick. Yeah, no, this does the trick. This is still cut off, so that needs some attention. But I guess the basics of the shop have been implemented. Oh, that. If we're too far away, we still cannot close it. So I guess we cannot say an unhandled interact. We can just close it. So if event is action pressed, is it called interact? I don't even know. Control. Config file handler. Oh yeah, I don't have that saved like that. It's a more dynamic system, so it's in the project settings, input map. We have like an interact thing. Yeah, here it is, interact. I'm not sure when exactly this is getting called, so maybe this is not working as we expect. Yeah, this makes it immediately not work anymore. We have like an entity interaction thing, right? It's kind of if we just are not close enough. I guess entities don't generally. And this is something we have to do when we are get out of range from the entity. So public void. Oh no, public. Public virtual void on I kind of want to have something like just cause. I don't think that's going to be a performance issue at all. We already have the entity. It is something for just entities. It will be fine. So on entity handler area exited. In general, we'll do just absolutely nothing. So let's also used or executed by the entity interaction handler when this entity exits the area. And I want to get entity.this. And then for the shopkeeper, we can override it. So public override void, and that will be making the shop invisible, so false. This should do the trick. Now, do I still have the interaction handler thing? Because that I need to get rid of, yeah. Yeah, so we also need to recapture the mouse. So we capture mouse. And we wait. We only need to capture the mouse if it was visible. So if shop.visible, only then do we capture the mouse, and let's also only then put it to invisible. Otherwise, if you walk past the shop with your inventory, it will just close your inventory, which is weird. Although I don't think you can even move with your inventory anymore. No, you can't, but still. Yeah, this works. Cool. So, my guess is we now need to make it completely determined by a hash of like the world position, both what he sells and his looks, and then make it actually possible to buy stuff and sell stuff. And then shops should already be done, so shops are going pretty smoothly, I'd say. Quite happy with the progress so far. Hey, there I was able to... if I press it again it doesn't recapture, and it should. So that's on... so if the shop is not visible, so else... I see what is captured. Yeah, nice. We've made a lot of progress here. I was thinking shops would be more difficult to implement, but apparently it's really not. And then I want to add another NPC to like this wall, or maybe upstairs. No, probably just this wall, where you'll be getting the quests. Yeah, this is going pretty fast, but I guess I also just had the inventory system ready to go to copy stuff from, make an abstract base for it. You know, that will be very useful again. I guess not so much for the quest giver, but still. My core systems are quite alright, I guess. Oh yeah, I need to check, does this work with controller as well? Nope, it does not work with controller at all. Let's fix that still. My guess is because I have a controller enabled menu. Wait, stay online, quick fix. That's like, where is it? Set initial focus, this one. Currently frozen there, let's put it more up. And this. Quest could also be some blackboard in a town center. They could, yeah. But eventually, I want to make it so that doing quests for a village makes your standing with that village go up, and so you'll get discounts in trade, discounts at the shop, or maybe some other possible rewards that are just better. Or you can just get some rewards based on being in a good standing with the village. I'm not entirely sure yet what the rewards will be or how that will function, but it's I do want to make it quite involved in the gameplay part. And then I think it's better to have like a mayor that's like the quest giver or something. Yeah, I mean, thanks, but I tried to make the game a bit more unique from Cube World, and I think that's something that will help there. But for now, I'm quite sure to say that we'll just make a commit and call it a day, because I really need to get my ass to bed. Because tomorrow it will be early day again for her surgery. So hit commit, added basics of shops, and push. Yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking about, that you could visually recruit people, that you can, and then like, yeah, summon them. Ah, thanks, Sander. I'm sure it will be, it will go well. At least they're not entirely sure what they will find, but they will do their best, and they won't do anything weird unless they discuss it with us. So this surgery, it will be just gonna see and try what they can do. If anything is difficult, it will be an issue for a later moment and not for tomorrow. So it will be fine. So I'm not sure when exactly I'll continue working on this. If that will be tomorrow or not, depends on the surgery, basically. I'll probably finish the shop system off stream, and then next time on stream we'll do some more art heavy stuff, like make some furniture for the houses, make some new weapons. That, you know, we already have a lot of status effects, but we don't have enough weapons that deal status effects. Add more art for weapons. Maybe add some new animals. All that kind of stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching, and Sander especially for all the interactions. Thank you very much. And I will see you guys